Good morning, Columbia. You're listening to the Fran Halloran Show. I am Fran Halloran. You're listening to us on Columbia's local talk radio experience, The Point, 95.9 FM, 1470 AM. You have tuned in for what we call the fastest hour in Columbia talk radio. I'll be with you until 10 today. You have lots of choices when it comes to what you're listening to, so I thank you. I thank you very much for listening to us today. I'll do my best to make it worth your while, and I promise that today we're going to do everything we can to do better than we did last week. And just so you know, folks, that's not going to be too terribly difficult because last week was awful. Last week I choked. Last week I gave out the telephone number in the fourth segment when we were trying to get off the air because I'd lost track of what segment we were on. So doing better this week is going to be easy because last week was just a terrible, terrible show. But we're going to do a lot better for you today, and we appreciate your forgiveness for last week. Now, just in case you're new to the party, a lot of folks wonder, well, who is this guy, Fran Halloran? Well, I'm involved in a number of business ventures in Lexington, the Columbia, and the Midlands area, and have a number of licenses in the state of South Carolina that allow me to sell investment and insurance products. If you want to know more about what that side of what I do, all you need to do is Google my name and Lexington, South Carolina, and you can find out all you want to know about me. But when I'm on this radio, I am serving in a completely different capacity. I am a Dave Ramsey financial coach. A pro coach is actually the title Dave and his team have given those of us who've gone through their Master Series training in Nashville. And very simply, I'm here to offer you solutions to your financial issues without any fear of a sales pitch. The plan we use is very simple. We call it intentional planning. It's a 10-step plan. A lot of it is based on Dave's 7 baby steps, and the rest of it is all based on scriptural principles. And we actually pull from one particular piece of scripture in the book of Corinthians. It says all things should be done in an orderly and fitting fashion. And we absolutely believe that in all aspects of the business ventures we're involved in. Now, here's an interesting thing to note about what we do. You don't need to make a lot of money to do what we do, to be a part of what we do. And you certainly don't have to buy any kind of proprietary software or a product to make this all work for you. The truth of the matter is, if you ever talk to someone who says, oh, you need to buy this proprietary software or this product to get you out of debt, to teach you how to have a financial plan, run and run quickly because they're scamming you. They're just looking to make a commission. All you really need to reach your goal of financial freedom is is a desire to change your life. That's it. That's it. You can find Intentional Planning Group on the web at www.ipgsc.com. That's ipgsc.com. You can call IPG at 803-792-1045. Our coaches are there to help you get a hold of your financial plan. We're not counselors. We're coaches because we motivate, we monitor and adjust your behavior patterns just like a coach would. So anyway, we would love to hear from you. If you need the help we offer. One note, actually, you can now hear the radio show at our website at ipgsc.com. The shows are now being archived there, so you can listen anytime if you want. That's kind of a new thing for us, and we're just in the experimental phases of how that's all working. But my web designer tells me it is up and running, and when you click on the little icon or the little link, you actually get taken to a YouTube channel, and there you'll see my big fat head, and you'll understand why Kevin often jokes that I indeed do have a face for radio. Anyway, we teach Logic on Fire every Thursday from 9 to 10. The show's supposed to be interactive. I'd love to take a phone call or two today, 799-TALK, 799-8255. You can text me at 792-1045, or you can email me. That is by far and away the way most people get in touch with us. Coach Fran at MakeThePointRadio.com. Coach Fran at MakeThePointRadio.com. You can even like us. You can find IPG on Facebook at Intentional Planning Group. Now, to that point, regarding interactive radio, I want to see if I can have a little fun today and generate some interest with our question of the day. What is the most common vehicle driven by the millionaire next door? What is the most common vehicle driven by the millionaire next door? Now, for those of you who've ever read Dr. Thomas Stanley's book, The Millionaire Next Door, or any of the other books he's written about the difference between middle-class people, working rich people, and the super elite, you probably already know the answer. But for those of you who don't, what would you suppose the most common vehicle driven by the millionaire next door is? Now, got a lot to get to today, a lot of great emails, but let me give you an idea of where we're going. In the second segment today, we're going to talk about the profile of the millionaire next door. We want to debunk some common misconceptions about rich people. And I have a kind of a very small story to tell personally about that. In our third segment, the That's a Bunch of Crap segment, we're going to talk about people who I call posers, people who you think are rich and people who think they themselves are rich, and they're really not. And then finally, in our fourth segment today, we're going to spotlight one of our sponsors, Turnage Motor Company. Aaron Turnage and Roy Mahaffey are going to be on the show with us for our last segment. So anyway, I think we have a call. Brian, we have a call already from Jim. Go ahead, Jim. You have an answer to our question so quickly? Come on now. What's the car of choice for the working millionaire next door? You're exactly right. A Ford F-150 pickup. And Jim, do you know what the second most popular vehicle is for the millionaire next door? Nope. It's still a Ford. That's okay, because it is closely followed up by another, the F-150. The second vehicle of choice is a Ford Explorer, believe it or not. Yep, the Ford Explorer. Jim, do you know any next door millionaires? No. Have you read that book by Dr. Thomas Stanley, The Millionaire Next Door? Yeah, bits and pieces of it. Well, it's a great book. It's a wonderful read. I'd encourage you to read it because it debunks, and we're going to talk quite a bit about that today, folks. Jim, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate you blowing us out of the water in the first segment. Thank you, buddy. Thank you again for listening. Jim's gone? Okay, good. Anyway, we're going to talk more about that book. It's an older book. It's been out for, 14 or 15 years, and he did a follow-up to it in 2010. Brian is already counting me down. No need to continue on our question of the day. You're listening to the Fran Halloran Show. I'm Fran Halloran. We'll be back on the other side of this break.